Yesterday, I was doom scrolling as usual and I saw a clip from Toy Story 1. It was the scene where Woody was fighting Buzz for thinking he was a real space ranger.
Stop with this spaceman thing!
And I find it so funny and realized how much more enjoyable it was than the new Toy Story 5. And I wondered why. I think Toy Story 1 doesn't feel like a movie trying to explain itself to you. It feels like somebody opened a little window into this weird universe where toys are alive, and we just happen to watch them on our screens like a simulation. And that's the feeling I miss. And maybe I'm just being nostalgic here. Maybe I'm just getting older and doing that annoying thing where every generation thinks the stuff they grew up with was way better. But I don't know, man. I watched the newer Toy Story and I loved it. I really did. But there's something about the first one that feels less polished in a good way. Less careful. Less like it's trying to make sure you understand the lesson. It just lets the characters be weird, and I think that's what made it feel alive. Take Woody for example. Now, when I think of Woody, I think of this loyal sheriff, the guy who tries to save everyone and the guy who always knows what to do. But in the first movie, Woody was kind of this menace, like genuinely. He was jealous, he was insecure, and he was mocking Buzz for thinking he was a real space ranger. He was panicking because of this new shiny space toy trying to steal his spot. And the funny thing is that version of Woody is so much more interesting and relatable. Because he doesn't feel like a perfect character yet. He feels like a guy losing his status in the friend group and slowly crashing out.
What are you talking about?
And that's human. That's what real people do. People get jealous, they get petty, people act weird when they feel replaced. And I think that's why the first movie stands out. Woody wasn't just this goody two-shoes, he had a lot of ego, fear, and pride. He was even annoying at times, but because of that, when he actually grows, it feels real and it feels earned. And I think that's what I miss from a lot of older cartoons and movies. Cartoon Network, Disney, Nickelodeon, the worlds were bizarre yet felt home. They didn't always feel like they were trying to be safe or inspirational or perfectly structured. They just felt like real places. Like you entered this bizarre little world and the characters were already living there before you've even arrived. And that's such a weird thing to say, but I swear that's the feeling. Like SpongeBob wasn't trying to be relatable, he was just SpongeBob. Ed and Eddie wasn't trying to give you a productivity lesson. They were just three weird kids trying to scam the neighborhood for jawbreakers. And somehow that felt more real than the stories that are technically more polished. That's the part I'm trying to understand. Because maybe old media didn't actually decline. Maybe I just changed. Maybe when I was a kid, I didn't care about structures, writing, character arcs, or whether something had a strong message. I just watched. And maybe that's why it felt more magical that way. But then again, when I rewatch some of the shows now, I still feel it. I still feel how good they are. So I don't think it's just nostalgia. I think some older stories trusted their worlds more. They didn't feel the need to over-explain every emotion, every lesson, every theme. They just let the characters be flawed. They let them be stupid or selfish. They let them do the things that didn't always make them look good. And that's why they became so iconic. Because real people aren't really perfectly written themselves. Real people contradict themselves. Real people say one thing and do another. They try to be good and still act insecure. And when a character has that, you remember them. Not because they're perfect, but because they feel like someone you've met before in real life. And honestly, I started thinking about this with how I create content. Because lately I've been trying to optimize everything. I'm trying to make the scripts better, the pacing, the visuals. And it's good. There's nothing wrong in doing that. But in wanting to be better, there's also this danger where everything is becoming so optimized that it starts to feel dead. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe what I miss isn't just old movies. Maybe I miss the stories that weren't afraid to be a little messy. Stories that weren't afraid to let their characters be imperfect. Or stories that didn't feel like they were trying to constantly prove a point. They just simply existed, and because they existed honestly, the point came naturally. That's what I'm trying to chase more, not perfect videos, not videos that feel like they were engineered by a spreadsheet, just videos that feel alive, even if they turn out to be a little weird or imperfect, and even if the idea sounds like a drunk friend talking to you at 3 a.m., but somehow he's making a lot of sense.